United States Senator from the great state of Kansas, Roger Marshall. Senator Marshall, good to see you, sir. The president has indicated that we could, as Philip was just saying, be winding down operations soon. But from your perspective, what would you like to see accomplished before we pull back?
Yeah, well, Tom, good morning to you and all your listeners. I think we need to fulfill the president's 4 goals. It's so clear exactly what the president has laid out. And I think we're 90% there. You know, he laid out that we want to destroy Iranian missiles, their nukes, their Navy, and prevent them from being able to arm and train terrorists in the future. So again, very successful mission so far, compliment our military, mourn the loss of 13 American soldiers and maybe another dozen seriously injured, but we're 90% there. But I would just warn folks 2 things. Number one is the last 10% may be as hard as the first 90%. And then the other piece of the puzzle here is remember who Iran is, that they're an irrational, toxic theocracy driven by religious hatred. You know, they're a wounded animal right now. They're very dangerous. We need to take them seriously, especially here on the home front.
Senator, do you support the use of our personnel to actually go and secure the enriched uranium that Iran has already produced?
Yeah, Tom, I don't want to take anything off the table for the president. I want you and everyone to know that I hate war, though. President Eisenhower said, "I hate war as only a soldier who lived it can, with all its brutality and futility." I served, my dad served, my brother served, my son is serving, and I value the blood of American soldiers. So I hope that's minimized. You know, there may be some special operations that are required. And again, we have to, I'm a physician, I always weigh the benefit versus the risk.
Right.
And I trust President Trump. I support his decisions where we are right now, but I do hate war and hope we can do this without American soldiers on the ground there.
All right, I want to move over to the standoff on Capitol Hill. National security threats continue to rise, but that standoff over DHS funding with the Democrats continues. A test vote yesterday failed to end that impasse. We've had multiple terror attacks tied to Islamist activity in the last few weeks. Travelers are now seriously feeling this as well. Here is the CEO of Delta, Ed Bastian.
It's inexcusable that our security agents, our frontline agents that are essential to what we do, are not being paid. And it's ridiculous to see them being used as political chips. So, you know, we're outraged, you know, and if there's a call to action here, and I think over 90% of the American public support those people getting paid. Ask our folks right here in Washington to do their job, get our people paid. They can do it.
It seems to me this is all about protecting illegal immigrants at the expense of the American people. Senator, are we any close to a deal here?
Yeah. So remember, the Democrats are the defund the police party. The Republicans are the party of secure borders and law and order. I think it's important to remind folks that President Trump sent the Democrats an offer, and they sat on it for 18 days. A very reasonable offer. There was no negotiations for a month. None of the Democrats would sit down face to face. So finally, on Thursday, actually it was Friday, on Friday, my days are running together here, the Democrats sat down face to face, like a handful of Democrats, a handful of Republicans, and I know that Susan Collins, who's the chairperson of the Appropriations Committee, and Katie Britt, who's the subcommittee chairman for DHS, is trying to make a deal. But we're not going to give in. We're not going to. We want President Trump's policies to stay in place. We want secure borders. We want ICE to do their job as well. So they had a discussion. I don't think it went real well. And that's where we are. But I'm not going to sacrifice the safety of Americans over this. And the onus is on the Democrats to come to the table. We should be asking them, why won't you fund DHS? Why are you the defund the police political party?
That's also digging in over voter ID and proof of citizenship for voting, 2 things the American people overwhelmingly support. Where is this fight, and will Republicans in the Senate bring the SAFE Act for up for a vote?
Yeah, well, we will vote on the SAFE Act. We're in the middle of the process now. We have it on the floor, and that's been the conversation. And just like the the Democrats want to defund the police. They don't believe in safety and security of American people. They don't believe in the safety of elections integrity either. Again, I want to emphasize, I've only heard 2 Democrats support voter ID, publicly support voter ID, 2 of 47. This is probably an 85-15 issue. Even 70% of Democrats support voter ID. We put voter ID on the floor alone a couple of days ago, and they shot it down as well. So regardless of the other issues, and I support all of the SAVE Act, but the Democrats, they don't believe in safe and secure elections. The best thing that can happen is the American public put pressure on Senate Democrats and say, come to the table and support the SAVE Act.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, appreciate you being with us, sir. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.